Well, since I'm in construction, I use Google Maps a lot to help get me around instead of MapQuest or whatever else they used to have. And usually I'll try to get my news from Snapchat and Facebook just because I don't have time in the morning or at night to watch the news and get caught up and see everything that's going on in this world. And I know some of those stories are fudged a little bit and messed up and different point of views and stuff like that, but I get the gist of what's going on.
All right, I use new media on a daily basis, from looking at just like seeing news articles and then trying to get other opinions from going on Google, reading different articles that end up on that same topic that give me different views.
Go ahead.
I use new media for work purposes to communicate with coworkers. My software that we use for recording work documents and things that we do on a daily basis is all online. We use instant messaging, we use Google Docs, so I use it in a daily basis for my work requirements.
Do you use new media on a daily basis?
I use it for various things. I know I use it to communicate here at work, and then I use it on my phone and at home for banking purposes. So I use it for that, and then keep track of friends and stuff like that I was in the Army with.
Did you miss me today?
I would say Facebook, just because I was probably like 11 when Facebook came out, and I was only around for MySpace. I only had it for like a year, and then Facebook came out. And I mean, it sounds kind of crappy, but that's the easiest way to keep up with your family instead of calling people every day or somebody interrupting your day to let you know what's going on, when you can get on at any point in the day and check on what people are doing that are in your family and communicate with everybody in your family.
So I would say from going from playing Sims on my desktop computer, from then moving on to getting it on my laptop, and then from my laptop moving on to putting it on my iPad and putting it on my my phone, because there's apps, and even, you know, I have it now on like the PS4 and different sorts of media that I can play this game on.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I think the new media that's affected me most in the last 10 years would be Instagram and Facebook.
And why is that?
I have connected with people that I went to school with. I'm able to see things that my other friends put out there. When I don't get to talk to them on a regular basis, I'm able to see the new things that are going on with them and keep up with their lives through social media.
Probably Snapchat. I never had it, I never wanted it. I ended up getting it, and then I rarely use it, but I do communicate with newer friends I met in college when I was going to college. So, and that's the way they communicated. I mean, it's short pictures and messages, so I guess that works.
Yeah, I feel like the places or the apps that you can go through to order food, like Postmates, Uber Eats, what is it, Grubhub, I feel like those are really taking over because you're giving people the option to order food from anywhere they want almost and have it brought directly to them instead of having to get ready, get the family together, get in the car and drive to go eat. They're saving money sometimes to stay in and have the restaurant they want brought to them.
So I would say yes and no, and put it towards more it being revolutionized by, you know, I would play Sims on a computer, and now I've got all these apps on my phones from Township and even Sims, and those I play every day, and I can even just buy more stuff in them, and it's easy to just purchase things. And
I think Instagram has taken over. I think in the beginning Facebook was bigger and more popular, and I think Instagram is kind of making Facebook obsolete.
Always newer media, always taking over. Somebody's taking over something. You have Uber, you have Lyft, you have Instagram, which I think is a big one. as well as Snapchat.
I would have Amazon just because you can do all your shopping and grocery shopping through there because I'm pretty busy constantly and it's not like I can just, oh, we need groceries, I can go grocery shopping when it's like I can just pick up my phone, go on Amazon and order what I need or what I want and have it brought to me for me and my family.
And also, I have apps like Tamagotchi on my watch to where I can take care of a little guy just right on my watch. So I think it's more of old media becoming the new media.
It would be Instagram because I think that's a more private platform to be able to communicate with friends and family, and it's good to see life milestones with those friends and family.
Why?
Probably Facebook. It takes up a lot of my time when I'm have nothing to do. It's just looking at what other people's lives are doing and funny pictures and videos. That's really what I use it for.
So I use Facebook and Instagram just because I've got like all my family on Facebook and Instagram to communicate with. I mean, other than that, I really think like Snapchat, maybe a little bit, but mostly Facebook and Instagram.
There you go. Go.
All right, so I would have to say if I could have one app, it would have to be Tumblr. I have, the blog towards it with, there's fitness blogs on it and just, funny memes, and there's even music on there and messaging. So it's kind of a lot of our social media apps and, even Spotify all in one.
General email, but if I had to pick one, it would be Instagram. It's easier to use. You see it faster, and then they have the new Instagram stories that you can put on there.
I have friends that are overseas. I communicate with them through Viber app, and some of them through Snapchat, but mostly through Viber because it's free. You can call them for free on there.
Hi class, so I wanted to come on here and just do some clarifying to my project. I wanted to do a voice memo kind of going over every question / slide, but my editing has proven a real frustration to me. Therefore, as you can see, there's just a picture of myself and my voice at the end of this video because I wanted to go over kind of glue all the puzzle pieces together. So for my project, my main focus was to interview people of different generations and just ask them a series of 5 questions, which you saw in the video, to briefly go over. The first question was, how do you use new media on a daily basis? What type of new media has affected you most in the last 10 years? Do you feel there is a newer media that has taken over? If you could have one app on your phone, what would it be? What forms of new media do you use to communicate the most? So those were the 5 questions that I asked all my interviewees, and as you saw by the interviews, all of the answers were different but similar. They kind of all linked together. The first thing I did was I briefed my interviewees on the idea of Farman's kaleidoscope. That was one of my favorite readings that we did in the class, and I felt like one that stuck to me the most. I didn't realize that the kaleidoscope had such extensive history, and I think the mobile device and kind of like the era of having this tablet essentially in our pocket, the idea of it's lost as far as like the great technology where it came from. It just reminded me a lot of the kaleidoscope. So that was from Farman's reading. I shared that with all of my interviewees, as well as the idea of social media and new media having a fine line. Pridmore states the distinction between new media and social media is not always very sharp. And that was something I also shared with my interviewees. The objective that I had was to give the best definition possible I could of new media, but also leave it open for some interpretation, because I find that describing new media and social media, as we've learned in a lot of our readings, there's a difference. They're not the same thing, but explaining that to someone who's not well versed in what we study can be extremely challenging. Sorry, my daughter's in the background. So I just kind of wanted to follow up after the interview questions and give you guys that objective, but also share my conclusions, which were everyone, although gave different answers, they were all similar. Facebook was a common thing that came up in the use of it, a lot of linking of new media and staying together and being connected with your friends from afar, your family who lives across the country. So that was my main findings in this project in total.